All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Let's go racing from Road America. Andrew Lau and Nick Sorensen on the front row. Adam Barker, Rudolph Gunther on the second row. Harry Volsmir and Yannick Gunther on the third row. Simon Zierk, Dylan Steinbach on the fourth row. Callie Evian and Mike Dolling round out your top 10. Mike Marshall starting in 11th next to Ryan McDaniel in 12th. Brian Hewitt in 13th. And Nicole, that's what she said, Kriesel starts in 14th. Speak for yourself and good morning, Kevin. The drivers all taking to the grid, getting ready to go here at Road Atlanta. Road America. Now I'm saying it because of Ryan. That's what I get. I may delete his comment, so I just don't. We're at Road America. Porsche pace car leads them down toward the final turn on the track. He'll get ready to pull in. Andrew Lau will be in control. Up the top of the hill they come. Barney in the flag stand waves the green flag. They're underway at Road America. And you'll note this is a Ferrari heavy field this morning. 8 Ferraris, 1 BMW, and 5 Porsches. And while turn 1 always gets a bit exciting here, but everybody makes it through cleanly. Lau quickly trying to put a gap on Adam Barker and Nick Sorensen this morning, but the move coming from Harry Volsmir already. Harry had a rough week last week, looking to regain some points here today. And he's already up 2 spots into third. Harry definitely on the attack here early. Dylan Steinbach also starting to make some moves. He's coming forward now up into 7th. Callie Evian now up to 8th. Lau still out front, but cannot get away from Barker and Harry at the moment. Expect struggles out of Mike Marshall. He apparently had a bunch of firmware updates for his rig this morning. And a lot of his stuff just did not feel like he was expecting, so he was struggling a bit here this morning. We'll see if he can overcome those issues. Rudolph Gunther, Yannick Gunther currently 5th and 6th. No Max Gunther this morning. We have seen Rudolph on a tear this season. Currently sits 4th in points, the highest running Gunther in the points. A great season for Rudolph. Great to see him up there battling. Lau continues to lead. But those top 3 Ferraris, actually the top 4 Ferraris, pretty much nose to tail. A little bit of a gap from Harry to Nick at the moment. Then the 2 Porsches of Team Gunther. Dylan Steinbach back in 7th. Callie Evian in 8th, but Simon looked to the inside, had to check up. Looked like Simon had a better run into turn 2. It does look like the Ferraris are able to get a little bit deeper into the turns here than the Porsches can. Surprisingly missing quite a few drivers this morning. No Kirk Marble, no Cody Kennedy. making Mike Dolling the only BMW out on track this morning in the Conliff Esports team BMW, followed by Mike Marshall in the Conliff Esports team Ferrari. Make sure you check out conliff-racing.com. Check out all their upcoming events. We will be broadcasting some of those events. And check out their partner, Advanced Sim Racing. Although I will inform you, I check out Advanced Sim Racing before every Sunday morning broadcast, and I have to keep a towel handy because they've got some great stuff, and I'll drool over all of it. Simon Ziert keeps looking to the inside on Evian, just cannot get the run. The Porsche is at a disadvantage on the straightaway, so headed toward turn one. This could be Simon's best opportunity as he slings it outside. Down into turn one, side by side, and Simon may get it here. They drag race it down toward turn two, and it looks like Simon may, Simon completes the pass. Mike Dolling almost got the run to the inside on Kelly. Andrew Lau still out front, followed by Adam Barker. Last time by, Lau set the fastest lap so far. Harry still lurks in third. Sorensen is closed back up in fourth. Rudolf Gunther currently holds on to fifth with Yannick in sixth, and everybody playing it fairly conservatively here in race one so far. Track temperature has gone down from qualifying. It was 70 degrees in qualifying, now down to 69. Track temp has been coming down this morning as we get later into the evening. That is going to help with grip, especially going into race two. However, they do have to keep that in mind when they go racing. In race two, they will have that longer race. It will require a pit stop for fuel. Might be some recalculations going on because the engine will run better and use more fuel. Adam Barker set the fastest lap that time by 2:04.06. Likely we will see some drivers drop down into the 2:03s before race one is over. Who will be first? Could be Nick Sorensen right behind that lead pack in fourth. He'll have the most advantage out of the slipstream at the end of the straightaways if he can stay in Harry's slipstream. Rudolf Gunther, Yannick Gunther in the Porsches do have a distinct disadvantage on the long straightaways here. They have the handling advantage through the turns, but as we have seen, this track has a lot of straightaways, not a lot of curves. The turns here are sharp. The Porsche can make up a little bit of ground, but once they're back out on the power, the Ferrari and the BMW just take off. Also, some disturbing news this morning coming from the paddock is that the Ford of Giancarlo will return this season now that it has rain tires. That's depressing. Brian Hewitt has had some problems back behind. Hewitt in the Porsche. Looks like coming through the carousel, just swings wide out into the sand. Whoa, gets it gathered up, but has to move out of the way of another Porsche coming by and loses more momentum. A lot of drivers definitely testing the track limits here this morning, especially in practice. We saw a lot of that. Drivers seeing where they can swing out, where they can cut. That top four at the moment, all within about 1.5 seconds of each other. The Porsche of Rudolf Gunther and Yannick Gunther about 2.25 seconds back from that group. Dylan Steinbach back in 7th, about 4.8 seconds back. Simon Zierk in 8th, just under 2 seconds behind Steinbach and gaining ground. Mike Dalling holding on to 9th. Callie Evian back in 10th. Evian had moved up as high as 8th since the start of this race, but has lost a little bit of ground here. Mike Marshall still holding on to 11th. Ryan McDaniel in 12th. After Brian Hewitt's problems, he is back in 13th. Nicole, that's what she said, Kriesel back in 14th. Lau and Barker have been nose to tail since the drop of the green here this morning. Oh, here we go. Barker's going for the move into one. Cannot get the nose far enough in. That did allow Sorensen to close right back to here. Holy cow, Adam goes wide. Hey, good morning, Sketch. How are you, buddy? The two Porsches still sitting about 2.7, 2.8 seconds back, working together, but again, do not have the straightaway power this morning. Hey, nice sketch, and thank you. Hey, good morning, Kevin. We will get to do that tonight for the BRR season finale. Ryan McDaniel has had a problem. Remember, oh! Looks like there was some contact between Ryan and Brian. Everybody gets corrected, but then Ryan goes back out off track. A little bit of chaos there in the third turn. Team Gunther still nose to tail, still not gaining any ground. However, as Andrew Lau and Barker start battling, that could change. Also, the top two have finally put some space between them and Harry. About 2 seconds from second to third. Sorensen right on his bumper. Mike Marshall has had a problem and is towed to pit road. Coming down, looks like into turn 2, something just went completely wrong. He goes off into the grass, stops, and tows the car in. Will do, Sketch. We did mention Mike Marshall had a bunch of updates to his rig this morning. All of it done last minute, limited testing. Could have something to do with the problem he just had. Lau and Barker still the top two. Harry and Nick third and fourth. Rudolph and Yannick 5th and 6th. Simon Zierk back in 7th. Has finally gotten past Dylan Steinbach in 8th. Mike Dolling back in 9th. Callie Evian in 10th. Ryan McDaniel back in 11th. Brian Hewitt in 12th. And Nicole is in 13th. Mike Marshall on pit road in 14th. Hopefully, whatever issues Marshall is having can get resolved and he gets back out here. Hey, good morning, Kenny. Have a good day, Sketch. Andrew Lau and Adam Barker still nose to tail. Harry Volsmir in 3rd. Nick Sorensen at 4th. They have lost some ground after the first half of this race, being right there with them. Rudolph Gunther and Yannick Gunther, the Porsches out here this morning, struggling with the straight line speed. Lau has led this entire race so far. Callie Evian has now dropped back. He is in 10th as Mike Dolling has moved up into 9th. Hey, good morning, Russell. It'll be great to see you tomorrow night, Kenny. Hope you had a good time in Bristol. We've seen Adam Barker make a couple of attempts at the pass for the lead, so far unsuccessfully. He does not have much time left to take that lead in race 1, and don't forget, going into race 2, the top 7 will invert. As of right now, that is going to put Simon Zierk on the pole for race 2. How are you doing this morning, Russell? should see the white flag this time by. White flag is in the air. Adam Barker has very little time left to make a move. Harry Volsmir, Nick Sorensen have been nose to tail most of this race. The two Gunthers still hold 5th and 6th. Simon back in 7th. Steinbach in 8th. Mike Dalling now to 9th. Callie Evian in the Porsche struggling in 10th. Interesting to note that 3 of the Porsches currently sit 10th, 11th, and 12th. Only 2 Porsches in the top 10, and those are the 2 of the Team Gunther. It is definitely a Ferrari-dominated race this morning. Well, good job, Kenny. Lap traffic about to come into play as the leaders come around and have caught up to Nicole. That's what she said, Kriesel. Nicole scooting over to let them by, going into the kink. Headed down into the final couple of turns of the track. And into the final turn, Adam Barker will have nothing left. He's got nothing for Andrew Lau. Lau crests the hill, and he will take the win in race 1 here at Road America. Adam Barker coming home in 2nd. Harry Volsmir crosses the line in 3rd. Sorensen coming home 4th, Rudolf Gunther in 5th. And let's see if we can get our top 3, talk to our top 3, starting with Harry. Harry, after a couple of a rough start to the season, it is great to see you back on the podium, man.
Yeah, well, unsuspected.
It was
I didn't expect this.
Well, we kind of did. We saw how fast you were right off the bat and making some moves very quickly and very early. Going into race 2, you've got to come through some traffic, but it seemed like you got through traffic pretty quickly.
Well, maybe in the beginning, but after that, I'm happy everybody stayed behind.
Well, another great job this morning, Harry. Great to see you back on the podium, man. Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you, Bart.
Adam Barker coming home in 2nd. Adam, another podium and extending your points lead here this morning.
Yeah, it was a really good race there. It's a shame I just couldn't quite get past Andrew. He was super quick, and every time I got to him, I just made a little error, dropped a few tenths, and then had to build it back up again. But it'll be an interesting race for the second race. Tires are definitely going to be an issue because that front left is seriously hurting after 20 minutes. So 50 minutes is going to be something else.
I can only begin to imagine as the track temperature cools down as well, you'll have a little more grip, but fuel may be a concern. You guys have to balance that fuel just about right.
Yeah, we're going to have a little bit more fuel to start with, and obviously I'm going to be in a lot of dirty air to start with. So we'll have to figure out what we can do, how much I can do on the start, and then hopefully we can pick past some of the Porsches on the straight and keep up with the Ferraris.
Well, man, great race and good luck.
Thank you.
Hey, good morning, Tina. And finally, our winner, Andrew Lau. Andrew, back at the top of the podium. It's been a bit.
Yeah, it's been a while, but I love this track, and I seem to have good pace here, so here we are.
He saw Adam peeking out a couple of times. He tried to make a move on you, but as he put it, you just had way too much pace this morning. Obviously, it is kind of a rhythm track, and you've managed to keep your momentum higher than everybody else.
Yeah, he kept me honest for a bit. He was in my slipstream the whole time, and then he made a couple mistakes towards the end. I was able to maintain like about half a second to him.
I have to say, now you've got to fight your way up from 7th place, and coming through traffic here, it'll be easy to take the Porsches on the straightaway, but once you get to the turns, things are going to get dicey.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see how that plays out. Maybe we just do some clever pit strategies, or if we're much faster, then we can try to do the overtake. But we'll have to see how it goes.
Well, man, great job, a great win, and good luck in race 2, buddy.
Thank you.
Andrew Lau wins race number 1. Now you will start in 7th for race number 2. How are you doing this morning, Tina? Hope everybody out there is having a great morning. Don't forget to come back tonight, 7:30 Eastern, the BRR Cup Series season finale. A new champion will be crowned. Can anybody topple AJ Godsey coming into the final race? Hey, good morning, Nicole. And good luck in race number 2, Nicole. Keep your, stop looking in your mirror. Looks like some of the drivers coming out to get pit road entry practice. This is actually, because it is the pit road entry is uphill, this is actually an easier pit road to get into. However, it is once you hit the pit road speed limit cone, it just drags on. Feels like you're on pit road forever here. No, Ryan, you're wrong, they're wrong, I'm right. I'm the broadcaster, I can talk crap about you. Yeah, you don't get to make that call, Ryan, by the way. Here we go into race number 2. The top 7 will invert. Andrew Lau will start from 7th place, and I do believe Simon Zierk will start on the pole. Here we go, race number 2. Simon Zierk, Yannick Gunther on the front row. Rudolf Gunther and Nick Sorensen have the second row. Harry Volsmir, Adam Barker on the third row. Andrew Lau, after winning race 1, starts from 7th next to Dylan Steinbach in 8th. Mike Dolling starting in 9th, and Callie Evian rounding out the top 10. Brian Hewitt, Ryan McDaniel, 11th and 12th. Nicole, that's what she said, Creasel in 13th. And Mike Marshall in 14th. Hey, good morning, Richie. Mike Marshall did make the grid for the second race. Looks like the technical difficulties may be resolved. Porsche pace car leading him through the final turn up that front stretch. Simon Zierk in control of the start. Over the top of the hill, and Simon is fired. They are down and away. Green flag is in the air at Road America. Race number 2 underway. No stack ups, and everybody manages to hold the track through turn 1. Yannick Gunther in the Porsche. He is going for the lead. This would be the first time a Porsche has led today if he can pull it off. The Ferraris have dominated this morning, but here comes Yannick to the lead. That did open the door. Sorensen on the attack on Simon. Can't get through yet. Barker now already up into 4th. Lau up to 6th. That top 7 invert does make race 2 a bit more exciting in the early laps. Mike Dolling already up to 8th, Callie up to 9th, and Dylan Steinbach in 10th. But the Porsches have struggled with straight line speed here this season and this morning. How long can Yannick hold them off? Simon in 2nd, trying to close back in. Harry Volsmir has had a problem back behind. See what happened to Harry. Oh, Harry just swings wide into the sand. And then he snaps loose through the grass into the inside wall. A hard hit for Harry. He did end up towing to pit road. Yannick in the Porsche, still out front. Simon in 2nd, Sorensen now back into 3rd. Lau already up 3 spots into 4th. Rudolph Gunther in 5th, and Adam Barker has had a problem. Oh, Barker looked like just coming out of the turn, a little too much power. Clips the grass at the same time and just sends it around. Gets it quickly recovered, but lost a lot of track position. A rough start to race 2 for a points leader. Adam now back into 12th place, trying to run down the Porsches of Brian Hewitt and Ryan McDaniel. Mike Marshall, despite technical issues knocking him out of race number 1, has now moved up 5 spots into 9th. He is on the attack, trying to close the gap on Steinbach in 8th. Callie Evian now up 3 spots into 7th. Mike Dolling up 3 spots into 6th. Rudolph Gunther holds on to 5th. Lau in 4th. Sorensen in 3rd at the moment behind Simon Zierk in 2nd. Simon just set the fastest lap so far, but still has been unable to get back around Yannick Gunther. Also, due to the absence of Max Gunther this morning, even if Yannick gets the win this morning, he retains the nickname the Cool One. And it looks like Harry has retired from the race after that incident. A heartbreak after one of his best races so far this season. Harry has been fast week in and week out, but has struggled with bad luck. Finally got a podium here in race 1 this morning, but man, it has gone wrong since. Richie, you need to get out here and show them how it's done, buddy. Nick Sorensen tried to make a move for second place on Simon, couldn't complete the pass. Andrew Lau now up into 4th, is closing on the top 3 at the moment. Currently on the shorter sections of track, Yannick is just able to hold him off through the turns, gain a little advantage on corner entry and exit, pulls away. The Ferraris run him down on the straightaway, but he continues to beat him through the turns. Andrew Lau, after that win, he came into this morning 7th in points. After that win, will jump up several positions, likely moving him into the top 5 unless Simon can hold his 5th place spot by finishing 2nd here this morning. Simon right back to the bumper of Yannick Gunther. As the sun goes down, we may actually end up being in the dark before this race is out. That could put a whole nother layer to this race. Also, does not look like we will have rain here this morning, although rain is likely before this season is out. And I know all the drivers are definitely looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to my first rain broadcast. Ryan McDaniel has had some problems back behind, as has Callie Evian. There's Ryan in the Porsche. Oh, Ryan just overshoots coming out of that turn, and a hard hit into the wall, lost the entire front bumper. And then coming down past the kink, just cannot keep the car going straight. Evian also having some problems through the final sector. Oh, just almost runs into the back bumper, and I believe Steinbach sends it super wide. Gets it recovered, but lost a lot of momentum. Nick Sorensen going for the attack. Tries to take second. Simon beats him down into the turn. Yannick has got to be loving seeing the battle for second place behind him. He knows he does not have the straight line speed of the Ferrari. But as long as they are battling each other, they're not going to get past him. Andrew Lau also liking this battle back, or just ahead of him, as he has lost a little bit of ground now. 1.3 seconds back, trying to reclaim some time here. Ryan McDaniel is back out on track. Dylan Steinbach slow on the front straightaway. Looked like Dylan may have been having some problems through the final sector. Adam Barker shoots down to the inside into that final turn. Dylan extremely slow. I don't think he picked up a slowdown penalty, but he may have a little further back, and having to serve it on the front straightaway. A bunch of cars slipped by. He dropped to 10th. Ryan McDaniel appears to have been having further problems after his pit stop. Gets a little bit coming through the carousel, gets a little bit of the grass there. And then overshoots out of the carousel once again. Across the track, barely avoids the wall, but manages to keep it. No, he does get the wall. Every driver out here this morning pushing the track limits all the way around, and it does cause some issues when those tires get into the grass. Andrew Lau has caught back up to the top three. Yannick, Simon, Nick Sorensen, and Andrew Lau now all four within 1.5 seconds of each other. Rudolph Gunther back in fifth, about 3.5 seconds back. Mike Dolling now up to 6th. Adam Barker in 7th. Mike Marshall now up 6 spots into 8th. Remember, Adam had that issue earlier on out of turn 2. Has recovered quite well here. Seeing multiple different lines out of the top 3 Ferraris. And it does not appear that, despite the 3 Ferraris doing 3 different lines through that final sector, did not appear any particular one had an advantage here. You gotta hand it to Yannick. That Porsche does not have the straightaway speed, but he took the lead early and has managed to stay out front. Dylan Steinbach had a problem a moment ago, as did Callie Evian. Steinbach has gone to pit road. Let's see what happened. There's Evian in the Porsche. Out of the final turn, just hits that rumble strip a bit hard. Catches a little bit of air out of it, but quickly recovers from it. Dylan Steinbach not far behind. Looks like he just overshoots that final turn. Ends up going across almost up pit road. Sorensen keeps peeking on Simon Zierk, but now has to defend. Andrew Lau has caught him. Mike Dolling back in 6th. Currently has Adam Barker in 7th, closing the gap. Mike Marshall back in 8th, Callie Evian in 9th, Dylan Steinbach in 10th at the moment. Brian Hewitt in 11th, Nicole Kriesel in 12th, Ryan McDaniel 13th on pit road, Harry Volsmeer in 14th out of the race. An impressive run out of Yannick so far here. Can he hold them off for another 32 minutes is the question. Dylan Steinbach trying to fight his way back after his off track a few moments ago has just gotten by Evian to reclaim 9th and set his fastest lap of the morning. And again, every time we come through this final section, those top 3 Ferraris just all taking different lines, getting through there as Adam Barker has just... Adam Barker has just caught up to Mike Dolling and they begin to do battle, but they don't call Mike Dolling the Minister of Defense for nothing. Barker's going to have one heck of a time. Dolling's going to force the move to the outside into 1. Can Barker make it work? He's got the run. Dolling sends it deep through turn 1. Adam's still out there. Adam going for the crossover. Close one out of 2. Now the drag race down the short straightaway towards turn 3. The left-hander will give the advantage here to Mike Dolling. Adam goes, swings it wide, still trying to stay side by side, but Dolling clears. Adam looks the outside through the carousel, can't quite get there. Now he's going to shoot. Dolling just keeps placing that BMW anywhere Barker wants to be. Can Adam use the Ferrari speed here on the straightaway? It's been unable to so far. He needs to force Mike Dolling to make a mistake, but so far Dolling perfect. Callie Evian has completed his pit stop. Andrew Lau is now on pit road. As Yannick Gunther continues to lead with Simon Zierk, Nick Sorensen second and third. Rudolph Gunther now to fourth. Mike Dolling for the moment still holding Barker off, but I suspect this battle far from over. Dylan Steinbach now in for his stop. Andrew Lau is rolling once again as Dylan Steinbach heads to his pit stall. Brian Hewitt also in. Steinbach up for tires. Looks like we will be seeing tire changes this morning. Yannick Gunther has got to be getting a workout in this morning. Those two Ferraris staying right with him. And Adam Barker definitely giving the Minister of Defense a workout. Adam staying tucked right on. Dolling trying to get every advantage he can. Adam sets it up to the inside but can't get the nose far enough in. Nick Sorensen gives up third. He is on pit road. Leaving just Yannick and Simon Zierk out at the front. The battle for the lead and the battle between Dolling and Barker may come down to pit stops. Here we go. Barker looks inside into one. Headed down toward turn 2, and Barker just sends it deep. Does he have enough out of the turn? It's another drag race, BMW versus Ferrari, down to turn 3. The left-hander may favor Dolling once again. Barker trying to pinch him down. Holy cow. Oh! May have been contact and Barker goes wide. Barker back on the attack. Meanwhile, out front, Yannick still holding off Simon. Rudolph in third. Dalling and Barker still battling for fourth and fifth. Mike Marshall now up into sixth. The top six have not completed their pit stops. Lights starting to come on as the sun goes down, and Adam Barker has finally gotten past Mike Dalling. Dalling's going to look back to the outside down into one, does not have the run. And Nicole, that's what she said. Kriesel has had a problem. Coming down toward the final turn, just misses her braking point through the sand. Manages to keep it on track. Lau and Sorensen. Oh! Lau and Sorensen slip by as Nicole quickly gets the car turned around and points it toward pit road. Adam Barker now finally putting some distance between him and Mike Dalling. Mike Marshall, despite problems in race one, having a great race two, up to sixth. And Simon Zierk is headed to pit road. He gives up second. Yannick Gunther continues to stay out with the lead, hoping it'll pay off. We heard the drivers after 20 minutes in race one saying that left front tire, this is a right turn heavy course, that left front tire is getting eaten alive. We've already seen quite a few tire changes. Will Simon be changing tires? Yes, he is. Mike Marshall gives up sixth. He is in. Yannick out front with the lead, still has not completed his pit stop, nor is second place Rudolf Gunther, third place Adam Barker, fourth place Mike Dalling. As the sun starts to go down and the lights start to come on the cars, this could see a dramatic change. Track temperature is now coming down to 67 degrees. It has been coming down little by little all morning long. Will make the cars faster. They will have more grip. The cooler air will help with the power. But then you've got additional tire wear and additional fuel burning you have to take into consideration. And here we go. The leader is on pit road. Yannick brings his Porsche in. Rudolph's going to follow it in. Mike Marshall has had a problem back behind. Barker is headed in. Dowling is headed in. This will complete the cycle of stops. Let's see what happened to Mike Marshall. Mike in the Conliff Racing, and it looks like it may have just been another technical issue. Kalievian also had a problem a moment ago, coming up the hill into the low, drifts it through the turn. Hey, not bad. Drift, save, keeps going. Pit stops have been completed and Andrew Lau is out front. He had the fastest pit stop overall by 1.5 seconds over most of the field. Yannick Gunther still holds on to second. Nick Sorensen in third. Simon Zierk in fourth. Rudolph Gunther in fifth. Adam Barker, now in sixth, has put quite a gap between him and Mike Dowling in seventh. Steinbach in eighth, Kalievian in ninth, both on their way back out of pit road. Brian Hewitt currently in 10th. Nicole, that's what she said, Kriesel in 11th. Mike Marshall out of the race. Ryan McDaniel still on pit road, and Harry Volsmeer out of the race. Lau's lead 3 seconds over Yannick. That Ferrari out front in clean air may have this wrapped up if he just does not make any mistakes here. Yannick Gunther sitting in second, Nick Sorensen in third, Simon Zierk in fourth, Rudolph Gunther in fifth. You got to give it to the team Gunther this morning. Those Porsches have a huge deficiency on the straightaway. Yannick led the first half, over half this race. Still holding on to second place, and Rudolph Gunther has been in the top 5 all morning long. Adam Barker back in 6, about 7 seconds out of the top 5. The points leader had problems in race 1. Had a problem here early in race 2, spun the car, but quickly got it recovered and has marched his way back forward. Mike Dowling back in 7th, Brian Hewitt in 8th, Dylan Steinbach in 9th, Kalievian in 10th. These three have been going at it for about a lap now as everybody just completing their stops. Two Porsches and a Ferrari. If Steinbach can get some clean air, he might be able to slingshot past him with that power and straightaway advantage. Andrew Lau's lead in that Ferrari, still 3 seconds over Yannick. Sorensen in third, Simon in fourth. Rudolf Gunther in fifth, still holds about 7 seconds over Adam Barker in sixth. Ryan McDaniel is back out on track, but appears to have had a problem a moment ago. Headed down into turn one. Oh, just goes wide and gets the tire wall. Manages to keep the car out of trouble, moves it down into the grass to let Dolan get by. Brian Hewitt has also had a problem. Hewitt in this 3-car battle for 8th, 9th, and 10th. And oh, it looks like Hewitt, there is contact. Looks like, oh, Evian tried to shoot to the inside, got too far inside. Ouch. Evian and Hewitt both on pit road. Dylan Steinbach comes through that incident unscathed. Andrew Lau's lead continuing to grow, now 3.3 seconds over that battle for second, third, and fourth. Rudolf Gunther back in fifth, lost some time on pit road. He is now 10 seconds back, but he is gaining. Adam Barker in sixth, was 7 seconds back from Rudolph, now 6.4. But with only 12 minutes to go, can he close the gap? Mike Dolling now up into 7th place. He had that great battle earlier on with Barker. Now Barker way out ahead. Oh, Barker way wide. Dylan Steinbach managing to come through that incident a moment ago. Now easily in 8th place, Callie Evian and Brian Hewitt back off pit road in 9th and 10th. Nicole Kriesel in 11th is closing the gap on Hewitt. Nicole Kriesel definitely going to have a great points morning here today. Dylan Murray not here. Richie Joplin not here. Harry Volschmier out early. Ryan McDaniel's problems. And Nicole looking very fast on track. She is closing the gap on Hewitt, now down to 5.5 seconds. Andrew Lau definitely not pushing that car to its limit, as Yannick Gunther was faster last time by. Lau maintaining about a 3 to 3.1 second lead Rudolf Gunther is pushing it back in fifth, continues to close the gap on Sorensen, now down to 8.7 seconds. And is pulled away once again from sixth place, Adam Barker. Ten minutes left to go here at Road America. Roughly 5 more laps. Andrew Lau just needs to maintain his pace for the moment. Andrew would end up sweeping the morning and having a great points day. Andrew, after missing race number 1, is currently, or week 1 rather, is currently 7th in points, but would pull up into 6th, potentially 5th. Rudolf Gunther just set the fastest lap of the morning in a Porsche. Team Gunther has been on fire all morning. Dylan Steinbach is headed back to pit road. He had a problem a moment ago. Oh, Dylan coming through that final sector gets loose. A hard hit into the wall. Some damage to the left front of that Ferrari. Dylan is back off of pit road, maintains 8th place. Evian in 9th, Hewitt in 10th after that wild 3-car battle earlier. Andrew Lau's lead now 3.3 seconds over Yannick Gunther. Simon Zierk, Nick Sorensen still right there with him. Nicole Kriesel in 11th was gaining ground on Hewitt, but has now lost about 12 seconds back from Hewitt. Evian in 9th. Steinbach currently holds on to 8th. The Minister of Defense, Mike Dalling, now has 7th. Adam Barker up to 6th. Still gaining on Rudolf Gunther little by little, but unlikely to be enough. Sorensen in 4th, all over Simon's back. Oh, Simon goes a little wide, and this might be the opportunity Sorensen needs to take 3rd. Side by side. Just a little slip of the rear tires, and Nick Sorensen makes the move to third. That did give Yannick Gunther a lot of breathing room, 2.5 seconds. In second place and out front, Andrew Lau still holds at 3.25. Nick definitely put himself and kept himself in the right position. And we saw a very rare mistake out of Simon, but Simon is not done yet. Sorensen holding the middle of the road. Simon looking for any way by. Andrew Lau is still out front over Yannick Sorensen, Simon Zierk, and Rudolf Gunther. Adam Barker has cranked it up and is closing the gap on Gunther, now down to under 6 seconds. Hewitt is back on pit road. And Nicole, that's what she said, Kriesel has gone to 10th. Sorensen about 2.6 seconds back, trying to close in. Dylan Steinbach appears to have had a problem through the final turn. Seen several incidents coming through here this morning. Just a little too much of the grass on the inside, shoots it wide. But gets it gathered up, a close call with the tire wall. Gets her gathered up and headed the right direction. Every time we race here, I want bratwurst. Can't imagine why. Yannick Gunther sitting in second. Sorensen sits in third. Zierk in fourth. Rudolf Gunther in fifth. Rudolf continuing to close that gap. Adam Barker in sixth, continuing to reel in Rudolf, but this late in the race, unlikely to see any major changes. Back up the hill for Andrew Lau. Should be seeing white flag in the air one more time around, and Lau will sweep the morning here at Road America. Yannick Gunther holding on for second. Sorensen currently in third. Appears Ryan McDaniel had a problem. Ryan coming down the back straightaway. Oh, just overshoots. We've seen that a few times this morning. Off through the sand, just stuck out there for the moment. Actually, it looks like he just parked it. Yep, he parked it. Wanted to have the best seat in the house for the rest of the race. Adam Barker back in 6th, just set the fastest lap of the race. And if we're lucky, we'll see Ryan McDaniel parked here watching the end of this race. There you see his lights as Andrew Lau comes by and heads toward the final turn. And out of the final turn, Andrew Lau heads up the hill for the final time. He will pull off the sweep here this morning at Road America. Lau wins at Road America. Yannick Gunther coming across in 2nd. Nick Sorensen with a late race pass takes 3rd. Let's talk to our top 3, starting with Sorensen. Nick, a great, put yourself right in the right position for the one mistake Simon made this morning.
Oh, that was the whole race. There was no getting around anybody today unless they made a mistake, and luckily I was able there to capitalize. I couldn't do it in race 1, but here in race 2, yeah, one mistake cost you a position.
It definitely paid off to be right on his bumper, and he was trying everything right after that to get back by. You holding that middle line just kept him from building a run on you.
Yeah, that was. I saw he might have had a run there, and that was it's gonna make him make the decision on which way to go just by keeping it right in the middle. But it was the same thing when I was behind Simon the whole first half of the race. I was doing everything I could to try and get by him. So it was a great race. Good job.
Well, it was a great race. Congratulations, back on the podium.
Hey, thanks, Doug.
Sorensen coming home in 3rd. Yannick Gunther coming home in 2nd. Yannick, one heck of a run for being in the Porsche that was struggling so much for straight line speed this season.
Yeah, thank you, Doug. It was fun. Keeping the 2 Ferraris behind me was a lot of work.
I can imagine, but keeping 3 behind you for the first half of this race was even more impressive.
Yeah, well, Andrew did an undercut, which worked very well. So congrats to him. But yeah, it was. They struggled through all the turns, so I could drive away fast enough to, keep them behind me on the straights.
Well, it definitely paid off as your car goes flying and lost a wheel. Great job, a great finish, and a great points morning.
Thank you, Doug.
And finally, our winner who swept the morning. Andrew, you pulled off the sweep at Road America, man, with great pit strategy.
Yeah, once I was able to catch up to them, I could tell I was a little bit faster. So went super aggressive on the fuel. Had to save a little bit during the second stint, but had enough pace to stay in front.
It definitely appeared the middle of that stint like you didn't necessarily think you were conserving. You were just trying to not overdo it. Obviously, we know now you were saving a little bit of fuel there, but it paid off. You kept that gap at about 3 seconds.
Yeah, I was surprised I actually came out so far ahead of Nick, Simon, and Yannick during the pit stop. I knew fuel was going to be tight, so just lift and coast just a little bit just to make sure I could finish the last lap.
I have to ask the obvious question. The Porsche has struggled here all season in straight line speed all season long, and it managed to keep you. Yannick kept everybody behind him for the first half, and you came out behind him with that pit strategy. Could you have gotten past him?
I wasn't really thinking about that. I didn't want to break up the little train they had from 1 through 4. I was hoping everyone stick together so I could undercut everybody instead of trying to do moves and letting the guys in front pull away a little bit. I didn't really race Yannick wheel to wheel, so we'll never really know.
Well, man, great job today. Great job on the sweep and a great points day. Congratulations.
Thank you, Doug. Appreciate it.
Andrew Lau sweeps the morning, and yes, Nicole pulls off the top 10. That was a great run for her. Guys, we will see you tonight, 7:30 Eastern. The BRR season finale. A champ will be crowned tonight. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you this evening. Have a great day, everybody.